Young Clara found the clock tucked away on a dusty shelf in her grandmother's attic. Hidden behind boxes of faded photographs and forgotten quilts, it wasn't grand like the grandfather clock in the hallway, nor cheerful like the kitchen cuckoo. This clock was small, its casing a warm, dark cherry wood, its face a simple circle of creamy porcelain with slender, elegant black hands. What truly captivated Clara, however, was its profound silence. She held it carefully, turning it over, listening intently. Not a whisper of sound emerged from its still heart. Intrigued, she carried it downstairs, its unexpected weight a comforting presence in her small hands. She placed it on the little table beside her bed in Grandma's cozy guest room that night. As she lay restless, missing the familiar sounds of home, a strange thing happened just as her frantic thoughts finally began to settle, and her body sank deeply into the soft mattress. A sound pierced the quiet, a single, resonant talk. Clara froze, listening. Another talk followed, then another, steady and rhythmic, like a tiny heartbeat echoing in the room. It was the cherrywood clock. But the moment she stirred, startled, the comforting sound ceased abruptly, leaving behind a silence that felt heavier than before. The clock had fallen utterly still once more. The next morning, over steaming bowls of oatmeal sprinkled with cinnamon, Clara breathlessly told Grandma about the mysterious clock. A soft, knowing smile spread across Grandma Euro's wrinkled face, her eyes crinkling at the corners. "Ah, you found that clock," she murmured, her voice warm like honey. "That belonged to your grandfather, my dear. He always called it his stillness keeper. He said it didn't measure hours and minutes like other clocks. It measured moments of peace," she explained, her gaze drifting to the window where sunlight dappled through the maple leaves. "It only ticks, Clara, when you are truly, completely still, not just your body, but your busy mind and restless heart too." Clara became fascinated, almost obsessed, with making the clock tick. She would sit rigidly on her bed, forcing her limbs not to twitch, squeezing her eyes shut, demanding her thoughts to quiet, but the clock remained stubbornly silent. A mute observer to her strained efforts. Frustration bubbled inside her. It was only later that afternoon, exhausted from her failed attempts, that she flopped onto the soft rug in the living room, gazing idly at dust motes dancing in a sunbeam near Grandma Euro's chair. Her breathing slowed, her muscles relaxed without thought. Her mind drifted like a leaf on a calm pond. And then, softly but distinctly, the rhythmic talk began, a gentle velvet sound weaving through the quiet room. Grandma looked up from her knitting, her needles pausing. "There it is," she whispered, her smile gentle and proud. "You found your stillness." She patted the arm of her worn armchair. "Your grandfather learned this the hard way too. He was always rushing, always planning the next thing. That clock taught him to pause, to breathe, to truly be where he was. It taught him to listen to the wind in the trees, to really taste his tea, to hold my hand without thinking about the chores waiting." Clara listened, the clock's steady beat a soothing backdrop to Grandma's words, a tangible reminder of the grandfather she'd never met, but whose presence suddenly felt very near. Years flowed by like a gentle stream. Clara visited Grandma every summer, and the cherrywood clock always sat on her nightstand. It became a trusted friend, and a gentle teacher whenever life felt overwhelming at home. A difficult test, a quarrel with a friend. Clara would remember the clock. She'd find a quiet corner, close her eyes, and consciously seek that inner stillness. She'd imagine the soft talk starting up, a signal that she had anchored herself amidst the storm. She learned to listen deeply to Grandma's stories, to savor the tart sweetness of wild blueberries picked together, to feel the sun's warmth on her skin without distraction, all while the quiet clock measured these precious moments of pure presence. The autumn Clara turned 16. Grandma grew very frail, sitting by her bedside in the hushed room, holding her papery thin hand. Clara felt a crushing wave of grief and fear threatening to drown her. Her breath hitched, tears blurred her vision, and her mind raced with dread. She glanced desperately at the cherrywood clock on the nightstand, silent, as still as the quiet figure in the bed. Taking a shuddering breath, Clara closed her eyes. She thought not of the impending loss, but of sun-drenched afternoons shelling peas on the porch, of Grandma's soft laughter, of the scent of lavender that always clung to her shawls. She sank into the deep well of love and memory, and then, softly, tenderly, the familiar tock 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 began. Tears streamed down Clara's cheeks, but her heart, within the stillness, found a profound peace. Grandma slipped away that night, cradled in silence, but Clara knew she'd been truly present for their final, sacred moment. The cherrywood clock now sits on Clara's own dresser, a cherished heirloom. Life as an adult is full of its own beautiful chaos. The demands of work, the joyful noise of her own children, the constant hum of the world. Yet, whenever the rush threatens to sweep her away, Clara pauses. She might sit on the edge of her bed, or simply stand by a window. Gazing out, she breathes deeply, letting the frantic thoughts settle like dust. She seeks the quiet center within herself, the place where love and memory reside, and always, without fail, the soft, reassuring tock 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 begins. It doesn't tell her the hour. It tells her she is here, truly here, connected to the enduring peace her grandparents cherished. A gentle reminder that the most precious moments are measured not in minutes, but in the depth of our stillness.